Today I am here with Dale from Dale's Quails.
Hi, I'm really short.
I'm really tall.
Alright, we're on our way to Genoa City, Wisconsin. Where the heck is that, you might ask? We don't know, but we're going to find out. Yeah.
I know where it is, I've been there.
Oh, I haven't. Or maybe I haven't, I just don't know it. But we are going to Dale's Quails, and we are sharing some of our potatoes and onion starts. And then we're going to kind of just take a little quick tour and see what Dale's Quails is all about firsthand. So, stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Brandon from Whiskey Tango Farms. And this is
Dale from Dale's Quails.
I just made a trip down here to bring him some potatoes and onions that we decided to share with him because I didn't need so many potatoes. I got 50 pounds of seed potatoes and 32 pounds of onion sets, and we don't need to grow that much for us. So this guy was willing to split that with us, so I came down here to visit him. Today we're going to do a little behind the scenes type video of Dale's Quails and what it takes to put together a brooder cage, the prep work that he goes through, and what he does to get it ready to pack up and ship out.
So I'm not going to give you any secrets, but maybe I can give you guys some ideas on ways to join your wood together. You know, we use dowel joints for our stuff. A lot of people have issues on corners on wood, so I think I'll show you guys just some of the joining methods we use on ours, and maybe you can take it, you know, set of cages, do tomato fencing, any type of trellis work. You know, the theory goes a long ways, so hopefully you guys find some value in this.
All right.
So what we're going to do is we're going to show you guys how we go from straight wood that comes in,
Raw materials.
You know, if anyone's bought anything of ours, you kind of see just everything comes together like this, little snap together pieces. It's just a quick process to give you guys an idea of how it works.
Little pieces.
Yep, so I took the wood off my rack. So we pre-cut a lot of the stuff. Our main items, just make things easier.
So we had some pieces.
Yep, so we're gonna take these 8 pieces, and we're gonna make 2 of these without using any screws. Basic woodworking, we just use dowel joints. I used to do these by hand with a drill. I used to hand drill every single hole. It sucked, and then I learned that drill presses.
Now we got some fancy drill presses.
Now we go through drill presses left and right, so that's what we're gonna use today. So just a couple drills, some patterns. Alright, so we use patterns for everything. It's just much more efficient. We try to run as close to a production line as possible. I start everything and I finish everything and I box everything. So if it's bad, it's because of me, it's not because of any of our workers. Finally got our good dowels back in stock. Price of wood is doubled, quality is cut in half, so sorry in advance.
So you're just setting up your jig for your next cuts?
Setting up the jig for the last
little drill.
So for the last hole. Alright, so we got 4 holes in each, no screws. And you do our other drill press, which is set up for our vertical drills. Now we just have to put the dowels on. This is not Gorilla Glue. It's just a container we use. We actually use a much better outdoor glue that This served a lot better than any other glue that we used. So these dowel joints hold together stronger than glue and screw. This is why we decided to go with dowel joints. Plus they're fun. Kids seem to figure them out pretty quickly. So it's nice to have your kids help build your stuff. This isn't like the stuff IKEA. You know, you're not getting a bag full of wood chips. So let that sit. Do our best to make sure the good wood's facing out, or at least hidden.
What's that technique called?
Gluing?
The balancing on the head.
That's why I don't have hair. It's tangled.
In case you get glue on the head.
So what happens when you're short, Brandon?
Oh. I don't know what that's like.
So we tap it, even though we don't know it's in. It gets the air bubbles out. Kind of straighten everything up. Make sure we're good. And we just set it aside, let it sit for 24 hours. We just let it sit for 24 hours. We'll do a stack of 26 of those. We try to do them in pairs because it's a front and a back. So we'll let them sit for 24 hours, come back the next day, so tomorrow, and we would put the doors on. I'm gonna do another one real quick and I'll sneak doors on real easy. I got some made ready for you. We'll do this one backwards. So we're gonna start with the oddball hole. And then I'll put it back to where it was when we first started. And normally we'd be doing a lot of these, not just one set. This is not why it takes forever for you guys to get your stuff. Just saying.
So you just need another drill press.
Yeah. Go through enough of them. About every 4 months.
Well, you don't have to reset this for each set of holes then.
Yeah. All right, we're good. And I'll do the last 3 holes. Dab of glue, that's all it takes. People ask us if it's safe to put a 5-gallon bucket of water on these joints. I assure you it's very safe. 160 pounds, and I sit on the corners of them, of our 3 stacks and our 4 stacks. I think it'll hold the 5-gallon, 45 pounds. So yeah, ideally these would sit for at least an hour to let it set, and we'd put the other sides on.
Watch this technique.
Oh yeah, I've mastered that over the last 2 years. I have a soft spot, well, flat spot on my forehead now. Doesn't grow hair if I want, that's why I just stay bald. And this is the start of all of our brooders and cages of all sizes. I mean, the technique works. It holds together really well. And when we're running full steam, it's pretty efficient.
Goes pretty quick.
It does. Especially when you do like 20. So I try to do stacks of 20. So it'd be 10 cages.
Roughly how many cages a week do you send out?
3 tiers right now, about 8 a week. Brooders, 25 to 30 a week. There's a significant difference in time it is taking to do either one. Brooders go together a lot quicker. There's a lot less moving parts. There's the doors alone. A set of doors for 3 tiers, 6 of these. The whole process to make 6 of these is about an hour and 40 minutes if I do it. So it takes me a little while. This and then the legs on the feet on the 3 tiers where our time goes. I wish it was as simple as these. Brooders basically are, so it makes it a little easier. I have to let these set before I can put the doors on at least for a little bit.
How long, or how many sets do you try to build at once to get set up?
So we try to do it by day. So every morning I'll see what orders I'm going to try and get out. So we try to get at least 1 3-tier and 2 to 4 brooders out every day. We try. Depending on what shipping issues we're having, it doesn't always happen. So like right now we're held up on tiered kits. Anything with a rollout we're held up on. So right now we're just focusing on brooders. So we're just pushing out 5 or 6 brooders a day. And sometimes quality wood isn't that good, which also slows us down, and sometimes it's really good and it goes quickly. So yeah, it's an easy process. You don't need to have these tools. You can literally do it with a drill. Just have to measure a little bit more, set yourself up a pattern, and drill out 4 holes and trial and error. And you don't need to have chop saws and drill presses. If you're going to do a production, I definitely recommend it. But if you're just building your own cages, you don't need one. Just drill it out. I definitely recommend using a dowel joint over a screw to the side of a wood any day. It's going to last longer. It's going to hold up better. And it's just going to look better.
A lot stronger of a joint.
It is. Dovetail joints would be fantastic, but then I'd be charging everyone $1,000 for a cage because it would take me a week to build 2. So this is efficient for us, and
you're not building furniture. You're building something to
I
house.
am not a cabinet maker, just so everyone is aware. I am a jack of all trades and a master of none. So this was an idea we had, and we started it, ran with it, and gave some people some samples, some test kits, and to this day we take every bit of feedback we get and we change. We try not to alter things too drastically from, we'll call it model to model, but we do take all the feedback seriously. Anything that's presented in a non-mean way, for the most part, we take seriously. That's how we've got to where we're at. That's why we don't use the hinges we use now and the locks that we use. We used to use eye loop locks, and apparently Quail can knock those off pretty easily. So because we didn't have the problems with our birds, we didn't think anybody else was. Due to feedback, we changed it.
Yeah, that's what I use on my outdoor hutch, but I have 2 on each door.
2 on each one.
So
yeah. So we used to just use a single one, and they would get out. Some people told me. So we switched it up. Big thing really is just have fun with it. Build something you're going to be comfortable with. It's not hard. I mean,
do you have any other tips for like using pans and stuff like that?
Build your kits around your pan. Anyone who's ordered our first few cages off of us has had a heck of a time finding pans for them. That's because that was not in the planning phase and designing phase. The pans were an afterthought when realistically they should have been the first thought. So keep that in mind. Find a source for the pans you want to use, and build your cage around the pan. Second tip, don't build your cage 3 feet deep. Make sure you can reach the back. Promise you'll regret making a cage 3 feet deep. Even with Brandon's arms, 3 feet's probably hard for him to reach.
Oh, maybe.
Pretty close. I got a couple tape measures around here we can show.
Try.
I couldn't tell you that we did 24-inch was too much for me. That's why we do 18.
Okay.
We do 24. People ask. We can go all the way up to a 40-inch deep. Technically 43-inch deep. And we have for custom orders. I don't recommend it. I mean, unless you have doors on both sides, I do not recommend it. And even then, you're still chasing them around.
I was to say, I was looking at the 3-inch or 3 foot deep hardware cloth over there, and I was like, huh. I could build myself a cage 3 foot deep. Not sure.
Not me.
Probably not, but it's possible.
But the Bob Whites really only go in the morning.
I heard them when we were sitting out here earlier. I heard
Did they
them
go
real quiet. Yeah.
Yeah, they in the morning they do well. This is my scrapyard of all my stuff. So people talk about this wood, having wood outside being, you know, is it safe? Is it gonna last? But yeah, so this was the thought process. This was the original for our medium brooder. This is actually one of our duck brooders with my honeycombs on it. So
this wood holds up okay.
Yeah. So this has been out for same thing. I mean, this wood is held. This is the new. That's the old wood that I used to offer. This is the new stuff that comes on the brooders. So this has been out since last fall, through the winter, through the fall, winter, and now.
Yeah, it's sturdy.
And so that red light means recording.
Yeah.
I want my lawyer. All right, so they're set long enough. Pretty flat. The doors we made the exact same process. You know, we 2 holes, 2 dowels, 2 holes, 2 dowels, and then just glue the piece in. Bit of hardware cloth, some wax. We eyeball everything in Dale's Quail shop. Sorry guys in advance. Key to drilling and working with most wood, especially dried wood, is to pre-drill your holes. I mean, that's something that we learned very quickly when we started building these. Stop splitting wood. So just kind of line up and pre-drill. Green drill.
You said you're building this one for yourself?
Yes.
Because you need a cage.
I need another cage. I need to. If I have the cage, I'll put the birds in. Magnetic bits for the wind.
So you don't use an impact, you use a drill?
Yep, just use a regular old drill, whatever's cheap and easy to get. Do it with a screwdriver if you really want to, like Top of the Builder. He took that literal when he did the brooder building video. I say screwdriver. I know he's got drills and he built it with a screwdriver, so props to him on that.
So I know when we built our cage, we
used your impact?
I used our impact.
How'd that go over?
It worked wonderful.
Oh, good. Selling point. I'll take it.
Had no issues with the impact. I usually screw everything with an impact.
So
and I drill with a drill.
Well, drills work good for both.
They do, but
if you're wrapping anything in wire, you have some play. So things might not always be perfectly square. Things might not seem like they're super sturdy. But if you're wrapping and stapling wire, and wiring does a lot to help hold things together. It's actually where a lot of the strength.
Stability.
Yeah, it's where a lot of our strength comes from. That's why we always recommend, you know, when you're assembling it, before that glue sets, get that wire on, because the wire is going to help keep everything straight and lined up and hold everything tight. I need like a drywall nailer, but for little tiny screws.
all right.
That'd be so much faster. Let's look into that. But we are always upgrading and learning things from people that have purchased off of us with ideas of way to do things, and you know, we've gone from, like I said earlier, horrible hinges to a little better hinges that are a little smaller and easier to work with, to adding supports where we never had supports previously. I actually got that from QuailCon last year. Somebody who had previously purchased one of our 3 tiers was at QuailCon, and they gave me the idea of putting a support on the bottom to help hold the legs together and get integrated the center support. We ran with it, and feedback was really good. going with it. I tell you guys, I'm not a master cabinet maker. I'm just a guy with tools who likes to drill holes and listen to loud music away from his wife during the day. That's what I do. All right, so here's your door. Pretty simple, latched. We got our back, so we would staple the wire on. I'm not going to, because if I turn the
air compressor,
it's fine. There's enough air in it.
Yeah, enough air.
There's enough air in it. So staple.
So you got all the wire pre done.
So you'll see wire hidden in spots around the garage if you were nice enough to keep most of the garbage out. You'll see piles of wire. Those are all wire pieces for something, I promise you. I only have so much room to work with, and we have a few people that work with us and help us out. And you know, we have one guy who cuts wire 2 or 3 days a week, and we have one guy that cuts wood a couple days a week. We got another kid who cuts all of our cardboard boxes to fit. And
you don't need one of these staplers.
Nope, you can use a regular staple gun. I'm just gonna cheat because, well, I can. But I didn't. The first year in business, I never used a pneumatic stapler. I used a hand stapler. Our entire first year in business, even though I owned one of these. Don't know why I didn't use it sooner, I just didn't.
I say we built several cages without using a pneumatic. Now that's all we use.
So I've also had people who never had staplers, and they requested zip ties. So they zip tied the wire on. So you can work for them. So there's your back. So now to make the front and the back together, you just need some side supports. We're just gonna use 4 boards cut to the same height. Drill holes in the ends. It's a thicker board. Okay. Same jig we used for the other ones. So now you just want to drill these in, or glue these in. No screws, no drill. Recommend putting the nice side out if it has a nice side. If they didn't, I'm sorry. If it's your wood, doesn't really matter, whatever you guys want to do, but make the nice side out. It gives the impression that you've got some high quality products. The birds don't care what the inside looks like, I promise. Alright, so we got the back, the front. And you notice if you are building a cage in this style, it's not going to look square, it's going to look racked. That's when it's not square. And it is racked, absolutely. But that's where the wire comes in handy. When you staple your wire on, it will straighten it out. So this would not be for an egg rollout, at least not for the style we built. This would just be for, you know, something you would use as a grow out, or if you want to have a solid floor, you just do a solid floor. You know, straighten it up the best you can. You know, if you're building this with some scrap wood and you made it this far, you're done. You wrap it in cloth. It's literally what I have to do, wrap it in hardware cloth. If you coat it for the floor, I would definitely get the cloth on sooner than later, just so you can get it square. But that's a very basic cage. There's really not much to it. I think it's easier to drill a couple holes and put a couple dowels than it is to try and screw corners together with brace boards and nailer boards.
This thinner wood.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you tried to even pilot that out some, it wouldn't work.
Yeah, you end up splitting them.
Yep, you'd split everything. And this joint with the dowel is stronger than if we were to screw it in there.
Yep.
And it's just a dowel, no screws. Again, the only special tool you would need would be a drill. You don't need a drill press, just a drill. I think most people this day and age have a drill or access to a drill. I'd take this. Hello, how can I help you? You're gonna edit the hell out of this, right?
I edit like a wizard.
I know, I like it. I like your music background sounds.
You know. All right.
Should we have a powwow before we start this?
Nope.
Before you hit record.
Hi. Shut up.
It's way more awkward with the third person.
It is. Like, shut up.
Hilarious.
It's
Oh God, you guys make me feel good.
usually not this awkward.
All right.